Now, welcome to our review of Visions Volume 2. I just finished watching it with my wife, Sailor Naboo, so I'm going to bring her in and we're going to discuss this as a non-spoiler review. We're going to kind of give an overview of the entire volume, or season, if you will. And we will be doing individual videos for each episode over on the other channel if you want a more in-depth discussion for each particular episode. And those will be coming out over the course of the next few days or so. Alright, so what did you think of Visions Volume 2?
Overall, it's really hard to compare Volume 1 and Volume 2. Volume 1 being from one country in specific, following one style of art.
Anime art, yeah.
Yes, which,
Classic kind of Japanese anime. Different styles of it, though, yeah.
They definitely varied up the styles between episodes, but this one was so vastly different because it has influences from all over the world.
Which you could definitely feel, yes.
Yeah, you can definitely feel it. You can see it. In some ways, I think it made it better.
That's hard to say. I actually really enjoyed Visions Volume 1. I liked just kind of the whole Japanese sampler, if you will. The sampler platter of... I know that sounds a little strange, but I did kind of enjoy just seeing kind of the different variations of Japan. As someone who's kind of I enjoy anime, not as much as you. You are a huge anime fan and knowledgeable. So I watch a little here and there. It was kind of nice just to get these little different tastes of it. Mm-hmm. But it was kind of cool to get a world view of Star Wars in a way, too.
Well, yeah, because obviously the stories probably also reflect some of the themes and stuff that these other countries see when they see Star Wars.
Exactly. You could definitely feel the Japanese, like the darkness, light, Jedi, Sith kind of thing. Most of the episodes kind of focused on that.
Yes, because that was something that most likely them as a culture
kind of resonates with them, yeah. Because I think they did a really good job with a lot of the Jedi Sith kind of dynamics in that first season. That's one of the reasons I really enjoyed it. Is it doesn't adhere to canon or anything like that. They have their own ideas, but I really like how they embraced that concept and kind of explored it.
Right, and then you move into Volume 2, where each studio presented something very unique and probably something that resonated within their own culture, within their own countries. Yeah. We could see it playing up with Arteman. I mean, they were one of the two studios who did not touch on Jedi and Sith.
Yeah, again, there was a lot of Jedi Sith, which is no surprise. I mean, I know some people complain they wish a little less of that, but come on, that's kind of the heart of Star Wars. If
it is in there, the darkness versus the light.
Yeah, if Lucasfilm comes to you and says, we want you to do a 15 to 20 minute animated Star Wars, your probably first thought is the Force, Jedi, Sith, something along those lines.
But, out of the top, let's say 3 that I found most appealing, one of them, no Jedi, no Sith, no Force.
I'm curious what your top 3 were.
My top 3, in no particular order right now, because eventually we're going to do a tier list that has Volume 1 combined with Volume 2 to put a master tier list out of the episodes that were our favorites. My top 3, Journey to the Dark Head by Studio Mirror, The Spy Dancer from Studio La Cachette, and Screecher's Reach by Cartoon Saloon.
I hate that I have to agree with you.
Yeah, that's Ireland, France, and Korea, I believe.
I think I agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the difference here with Season 1 and Season 2, or Volume 1 and Volume 2, I think some of the weaker episodes were definitely weaker in Season 2 here. That just didn't hit with me.
Right, there were definitely some weaker ones in Volume 1.
Yes.
But I think overall you still really enjoyed even the weaker episodes?
Even the weaker episodes I kind of enjoyed. Some of the weaker ones here I was a little less thrilled with.
Okay, I can see that. I think they all had really interesting overall themes. Some of them went very different from others, and it was interesting to see just all of the references, the cultures, everything really shine through in what they were doing.
It was kind of cool to see, again, the different takes on Star Wars across the world, what kind of resonates perhaps with their culture in particular.
I really like how they organized some of these episodes, too. They kind of tried to spread the claymations out a little.
It was a lot of claymation.
Yeah, it was Episode 3, Episode 4, 7, and 9 were all forms of stop-motion animation or computer-generated 3D claymation stuff.
It was meant to look claymation, but it wasn't like literal get your hands in there and move the...
Because 7 was definitely... Around, 7 being the Bandits of Golak was definitely 3D computer stuff, but it also looked very much like a claymation, so...
Yeah, I think they're
good job with the computer, I guess.
And yeah, I think with Season 1, I think I enjoyed the fact that a lot of it looked kind of more hand-drawn or hand-done. Mm-hmm, this felt like it was all... More or less, not all. There was some. I take that back.
Screecher's Reach, Cartoon Saloon definitely looked hand drawn.
Yeah, but it felt like some of them just leaned heavily just full CGI, which is animation, sure.
It is.
But I kind of liked that Season 1 felt a little more, I don't know, grounded in a weird sort of way.
Okay.
Not saying I didn't like the stylized way they did things. Like the Sith, the first episode was kind of really cool to look at.
Yes, it looked more like oil paintings, you could say. Then you moved into the second episode, Screecher's Reach, and it looked like watercolor paintings.
Yeah.
Very beautiful stylistically. Musically, though, I don't think they stood out to me the same way music stood out to me in Volume 1.
No, I got some Volume 1's music on some playlists.
I know.
No, it's really good. Some of it was really exceptional.
Obviously, the Village Bride.
Yeah, The Ninth Jedi. I think that's the thing. Like, I think the really good episodes of the first volume, I wanted to see more of. And other than maybe one or two of these, I'm like, yeah, that was a nice one-off. I don't need to see any more. You're good. Even though some of them did kind of go a little open-ended. Not that they are probably ever going to do more with it, but just to kind of keep the door open maybe, or to make your mind wonder about what happened
But
next.
if they did make more of one of them, my vote would go to Journey to the Dark Head by Studio Mir.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that also did set up the... Not to spoil anything, but it did set up a potential continuation of the story.
It was very good. I mean, I love their stuff in the first place. They did Legend of Korra from Avatar.
Still haven't seen it.
Yeah. They also did Dota from Netflix.
I have seen it.
So their art style is one that I immediately grasped onto because I'm familiar with it, and I think it's beautiful. And they left enough that they could continue a story. Maybe if they only maybe each volume will contain one that they're like, yep, people love that one. Let's move it along.
Someday they'll have like a master volume. They'll keep doing different volumes, and then one day the best of each volume will get to continue their story in a different episode.
There's nothing saying they can't.
No, I mean, I do hope they keep going with these. I think they're very cool. They're very unique, and you don't have to sit there and, again, kind of worry about, oh, is this canon? Am I... does this make sense with Star Wars? Some of them I was a little like, well, that really wouldn't fit into canon at all.
But some of them could slide in with no problem.
Some of them very much could. Some of them could be just plucked right out of, actual Star Wars, and this is a real story and could be inserted in there.
Definitely. You could just throw them into a different time period and they'll work just fine.
Yeah. A lot of Empire in this. I feel like the first season didn't have as much like Empire stuff, but this one all felt like it was almost the same time period in many ways.
Well, there were really only like 4 I felt were strong Empire ones. Maybe it's just a lot more dark side in general, darker things, Sith plus Empire.
This first season was definitely darker, but I mean, it just felt like a lot of them went for that same kind of rebellion time period. The kind of the rebellion theme seemed very prevalent in these.
I could see it. I'm sure we'll get into a lot more specific details on the other channel when we're going through them as individual episodes.
Yeah, I don't really want to get into kind of specifics and spoilers, but if you enjoyed Volume 1, I think you're going to also enjoy this one.
Oh, I think so.
If you're someone who's kind of reluctant, I would definitely give it a shot. I mean, I think they're very fun. I mean, you got 15 minutes, you can fire up one of them. Even just pick the one you think, looks the most interesting to you. Fire it up. You don't like it, you move on with your life. That's fine.
But if you're going to watch any of them, I still suggest episodes 2, 5, and 6. Screecher's Reach, Journey to the Dark Head, and The Spy Dancer were still, I think, my top 3. By the time I rewatch them all again, we'll see how... I still haven't put them in an order quite yet.
No, because
they were all really good. They were strong pieces of this volume.
Yeah, I think part of the problem is...
Not to say the others weren't good, though. They were, too. Those were just my faves.
Part of the problem is we did just watch back to back to back, so they kind of... I don't want to say blur together, but you kind of start to forget what exactly each one was about when you watch 9... kind of animated shorts in a row. But yeah, we will do the individual reviews on the other channel.
Probably 1, maybe 2 a day, depending.
Yeah. But for now, that's going to be all we got for you this time. So do take to the comments below and tell us if you have watched Season 2 or Volume 2 of Visions and what you think. Whatever the case may be, do leave those comments below and let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.